Hello, my name is Steve Lucas. I'm from Panasonic, and today we're at Air Studios where we're showing off our VT20 3D TVs. We have our 65-inch model and our 50-inch model here today, and of course the 3D Blu-ray player. Now, the reason we're here at Air today is because we're very privileged to join in with a recording session with the British singer-songwriter Paul Carrack. So Paul is going to be recording some songs from his new material and some of his old material, and we're actually going to be showing that to an audience of invited press, specialist journalists, and also specially invited guests from the industry. So we're going to be showing this 3D content live on a 103-inch 3D panel, as well as replaying it on the 65-inch TV and the 50-inch 3D displays as well. Everything is being filmed with Panasonic cameras, so you'll get a chance to have a look at the cameras, but the cameras basically are in a twin formation which records both the left and the right eye information. That information is then fed to the displays, and of course the TV display displays that as a 3D image. So we have the broadcast Panasonic cameras, we have broadcast mixers and broadcast monitors being used here by the technical team and production team throughout this whole event. So let's go outside into the studio and have a look at the cameras that are actually being used to film this event.
I'm Jeff Harrison, I'm a stereographer working on a music project here at Air Studios today. In principle, 3D is about trying to cheat the brain into believing it's seeing two separate images which are a three-dimensional configuration of what's in front of them. And we're doing that by using two cameras. They're any type of cameras, stills cameras, video cameras, anything you like. We're using top quality broadcast HD cameras at the moment. They're fairly large. To get the quality, that becomes a bit of an issue for us. Our eyes are a certain distance apart, say 65mm nominally is most human eye distance. These are a lot more than that. It creates an issue whereby we have to try and repeat what our eyes do, which is to change positions, change focus all the time. We do that with this rig. We can change the relative distance of the cameras to each other, and we can change the angles of the cameras, what they're pointing to try and repeat what our eyes would be doing in automatic mode when we're looking at things. There's several types of rigs. This is a side-by-side. It's fairly basic, it's fairly ordinary, lots of them on the market, and you can achieve a certain amount of things. What you can't do is get very close, because when these two lenses are looking at something very close to the camera, then you end up with different backgrounds on each of the shots, which you can't then put back together. It becomes very unnatural for the brain. So we then use a thing called a mirror rig. So one camera would shoot through the mirror and one shoots down off the mirror. One's going through the mirror this way, one's coming off the mirror, and they would see the same image, and we can then adjust their relative positions, adjust what's called the convergence, which is what they're focusing in on. We have motors all over the lenses to adjust zooms and focus and aperture and everything else. It gets quite complex, but it's really quite exciting, because the whole of our lives we're used to seeing three dimensions. We're used to seeing things that have a depth to them, and we've spent many years trying to make things look three-dimensional with camera moves, with lighting, with all sorts of different techniques. Having real 3D is just so immersive that you just feel like you're there, whether it's a music show like this, or whether it's a piece of sport or a piece of drama. Just two people sitting in a room talking. If it's in 3D, you feel more like you're there.
Okay, so that's how the production is put together from the camera side of things, but let's now have a talk to the producer, Peter Van Hook, who will explain how it all goes together technically.
I have a new TV program called HD-music.tv, and what it's trying to do is really be at the high technology area of kind of making a great music program. We want to base it kind of at Air Studios, around Air Studios. And it's got 4 programs, one called Live on Air, which will be with an audience with all these balconies here, big stars with different kind of collaborations. Another one's called The Crossing, which will be more kind of, what can I say, new acts coming up. Another one called The Classics on Air and Live on Air. So the great thing about this is it's a collaboration really between Steve Lucas, who helped me with the Life Abbey Road programs, etc. And it's a natural progression really to make something unique, high technology, right at the cutting edge. So this is an opportunity to do something in 3D with the help of Panasonic, which maybe would have been just beyond what we could do, but it's where we want to be in the future. Having seen it, it's very immersive. I mean, I think that's the word really, it is immersive. I think the cameras themselves at the present time, these great big cameras, you know, stuck together, I think that will become fairly seamless. I think when Panasonic bring on their 3D bespoke cameras, it make a huge impact. It means you can focus and bring it in and out. So yes, I do think that it will work more. I'm very impressed with 3D. I think it's more engaging. You have to be subtle with it, but I think if you're subtle with it, it can be incredibly powerful.
I do think it's a natural progression. I mean, I think that probably inevitably it'll be 3D without glasses, and it's the same way that sound became a natural progression from silent pictures, and colour became a natural progression from black and white. And I think that it's still in its early days, but the fact that the audience have kind of, you know, have embraced it so wholeheartedly, to the extent now that, you know, movies are being simultaneously released in 2D and 3D, shows that it's, you know, it's a new experience, and it's not just a gimmick. I think it's going to become, the way that we've approached it is, let's not think of this as a gimmick, let's just think of this as an immersive experience, a new way of listening to music in home theatre, or you know, in the ideal circumstances, which is, you know, kind of like a concert situation.
Okay, so let's tell you a little bit about the VT20. As I mentioned, it's going to be available in the UK in a 50-inch and a 65-inch screen size. Of course, this is the very latest plasma technology, so it features high-speed pixel technology with high-speed phosphor and high-speed processing. This all goes together to create not just an incredible 2D image, but a really awesome 3D image as well. So the features included within the TV, we have an Ethernet connection for connection to our VieraCast service, and also from the services that are going to be offered by some of our digital providers. We have USB and SD card inputs for playback of HD video, JPEG and music files. We can also use the USB port for recording to an external recording device, such as a hard disk recorder. Part of the specification for this range for 2010 also includes ISF calibration and THX certification. So this gives advanced calibration services for the home user to set up his TV exactly how he wishes to view it. Okay, so how do we get the 3D image to the 3D glasses? Well, along the bottom edge of the plasma panel, we have a row of emitters. This emits an infrared signal to the receiver on the 3D glasses. The glasses themselves come with a battery, a small watch-style battery, and this will give approximately 70 hours of viewing time before the battery needs replacing. We will supply 2 pairs of the active shutter 3D glasses with the TV, and additional pairs will be able to purchase for around about £100. So I hope you've enjoyed your look around Air Studios and had a chance to get a behind-the-scenes look of how 3D program is put together, and also enjoyed some great music from our artist Paul Carrack.